What up, chaps? How's it going? I'm wearing my Yum Yum Panda Burgers t-shirt today. They're not just rare, they're extinct. I normally wear my work shirts because I've got dozens of them, but I figure this one's quite apt for the coronavirus generation. I do, of course, apologise to any, not Asian. I hate the way that we just scoop everybody up under the Asian term. Chinese people that eat rare and peculiar animals. I apologise to them if there's any watching. It's just a bit of banter, lads, you know. So the BBC was funny today. We've got the knives have come out for Bernie, haven't they? Fucking hell. Proper going balls out to get a grip of Sanders now. It's actually strange to me how vicious American politics is in that regard. They hate Trump, but when the primaries are on, they fucking hate each other. And they're all going after Bernie today. I did cover this one at the time, but do you remember this one?
At the end of the debate, when Warren refused to shake Sanders' hand, so much lip reading afterward, but that's needed no longer because tonight the audio has been released. But who does this feud really help? Here's Lindsay Davis.
This was the moment millions watched. Elizabeth Warren refusing to shake Bernie Sanders' hand after the Democratic debate. And tonight we're finally hearing that tense exchange.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it now.
Overnight, CNN released that audio, while neither calls the other an outright.
Warren is so fucking dishonest. It really should disgust anyone that has any regard for the truth. Like, she knew for 100% fact that she was mic'd up there. She's done it on purpose. She hasn't forgotten that she's on a hot mic. And the way Bernie was just like, what are you talking about? Like, when he said, let's not do this now. If you want to have a discussion, we'll do it. And she's like, anytime. Because she knows she's mic'd. Fucking ridiculous. She's just shocking. I do have a soft spot for Sanders. Most of his policies are too far left, but more than the rest of them, at least he's been Sanders for decades. He's always been a hippie. These fucking snakes like Warren and Biden, they just change like the fucking weather. And I think that's the point I'm going to make here. It's as clear as day who's going to win, who's going to get the nod to run against Trump. And I think it's clear to anyone that pays any attention to the way the world's gone in the last 4 or 5 years that you're just going to get populist versus populist. So you've got a left-wing populist in Bernie Sanders and you've got a right-wing populist in Donald Trump. And that has to be who goes head-to-head for the presidential election. People have had enough on both sides of the aisle. People feel like things have gone wrong for years. Politics just serves a small niche, a tiny percentage of those at the very top, and everyone's pissed off. And those on the left are whinging about the cost of education and healthcare, and those on the right are whinging about, blue-collar jobs and immigration. So it was only ever going to come down to these two. But the only way it can come differently is if the DNC are fucking insane. Like, you have to be as mad as a box of fucking frogs to think, after watching what happened between Clinton and Trump, that the smart thing to do is to let the DNC fuck clearly the most popular candidate over at the convention. So that is with the caveat. It's going to be Sanders versus Trump. The caveat being, unless the DNC do the unthinkable and just go with fucking Bloomberg or someone instead. But I think even they're not that fucking crazy after what happened last time. So let's fucking see. But this BBC story made me laugh because it says, how left-wing is the Democratic field? And the first thing they should have said is, not fucking very, because all those people that are pretending to be left-wing never have been. Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden have got careers decades long, and nothing about them has ever been very left-wing, ever. So the fact that they've just suddenly started trying to out Bernie in the last 3 years is fucking funny as fuck. Like, especially Biden. You've got a fucking, 50-year career on the public tit? Because all of these fucking weasels are just suckling on the taxpayers' money for decades. That's why they're all so rich. But you can literally go on Google and find dozens of key votes involving the likes of Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren, and none of them would be classed as a lefty vote. The fuckers have got black and white evidence, demonstrable facts from decades in office that they aren't liberal. Lefty fuckers. and they're just pretending because it's the flavour of the month with all these fucking woke kids. They did get one thing right though. They said the US Democratic Party is undergoing something of an identity crisis as it debates what direction to take ahead of the looming battle with President Donald Trump, a Republican, in November. I think everyone on planet Earth knows he's a fucking Republican by now, don't they? Even some random Scandinavian schoolgirl's gonna know what fucking party Donald Trump belongs to. They've been howling to the skies about him for 4 fucking years. There's a tension between the so-called progressive wing of the party, led by Bernie Sanders, yeah, and Elizabeth Warren. No, Pocahontas couldn't lie straight in fucking bed. All she does is lie. And moderates like Joe Biden, Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg. Let's break it down by issues and compare the current field to figures in history and leading politicians from the UK. Taxes will always be a hot button in the US. In 1992, Bill Clinton came into office with ambitious plans to reverse Ronald Reagan-era tax cuts, but he still enacted a middle-class tax cut as part of his package. Democrats are more aggressive. Weird how Bernie's not on there. So is the BBC taking the position now? They want to pretend he's not the far-left candidate. It's fucking Warren. And funny that Thatcher's over there on the right. They will never forget about Thatcher, will they? It says Amy Klobuchar typifies the moderate position of wanting to raise corporate taxes but not back to pre-Trump levels. Even Klobuchar, I mean, is that moderate? Really? Michael Bloomberg's called for a 5% surtax on income above 5 million. Michael Bloomberg's just detestable. He's got no charm at all. He's got the charisma of a wanking sock. To any Americans reading, that's one of those crusty old socks that teenagers frequently discard in the corner of the bedroom. And, you know, it's crispy and full of pubes and they've clearly been using it to clean up after they've been playing with themselves. That's how charismatic he is. Unappealing, balding little midget with one of those whiny nasal voices. Like, have you ever heard him talk? His advert made me cringe.
Is that when President Trump talks about the Latino community, he never mentions all the immigrants who are doctors and engineers and police officers and teachers and business leaders and entrepreneurs.
Just a whiny voice, hasn't he? And a little shrunken head. He looks like a retired Ninja Turtle. If Donatello lives to be 140, that's what Mike Bloomberg looks like with his fucking bandana off. And Elizabeth Warren, mental, has proposed a tax on all wealth above 50 million. So apparently it's literally just going to take it all, take it all off you. Which again, give an absolute chimpanzee level argument. Even an ape could understand, like, if you had more bananas than the fucking monkey in the tree next to you, you would be able to grasp this concept. If you cap wealth at 50 million, large numbers of people are going to never even attempt to get 50 million. This is what the communists don't understand. Cleverer people than us do these maths. Cleverer people than us figure out the very exacting levels to have your income tax set at, where you still encourage growth and achievement and getting that big promotion, and yet you still take slightly more from the richer than the poor, so you make it fair. And the current system works quite well. A lot of people, myself included, would fully rap if there was no benefit in getting the big promotion. If you're basically getting them high-stress jobs, like on Wall Street, where they're all fucking... Everyone takes the piss out of Wall Street. But what they don't talk about is the fact that some of those fucking rich assholes work massive hours. Like, my brother works for Mike Ashley, and he's a billionaire, and he works his tits off. The guy works, 90, 100, 110 hours a week. All those Wall Street twats have all got ulcers because they're all drinking and chain smoking and taking drugs because they're all stressed to fuck and they don't get to see their wife and fucking kids. There is two sides to wealth. And normal blue collar people, again, they understand this. If you're like the guy who's just working in a factory, you know that you work less hard than the guy at the very, very top who's on the hook for all of the really important shit. And that's why blue collar guys, a lot of them, and I'm one of them, we don't really have the drive to go right to the very top. Like, it was the same in the military. It was all right being a corporal, but I didn't ever want to be the sergeant major. Some guys do, some guys don't. But as you go up the ranks, it's less fun. The military analogy is a good one, because everyone says that in the Corps. They always did. When you're a Marine, you can do what the fuck you like. You catch the shit details, but you don't have any responsibility. It's fucking great. Corporal's about the best level. Everyone says that, because when you're a corporal, you can dodge the really shit details, but you still get caught up in some of them, and you tend to get to delegate a bit more, and you're in a nice happy medium there. Sergeant, once you get to sergeant, you sort of start becoming like an officer, where you've got to toe the line between one of the lads and one of the fucking head shed, and then you get a lot of administrative bullshit you've got to do. it starts to get shit. So a lot of guys, some of them will aim for corporal sergeant and not want to go any higher because they don't want to become a fucking politician, which is what the high rankers are. And it's like that with business. A lot of people are happy earning a decent salary. You might want to go for a little promotion to have a bit more responsibility and a bit more money, but most guys go, you know what, you want me to go from working 40 hours a week to 70 hours a week and I only get 12 grand a year for it? A lot of people will go, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to bother. And the reason they won't bother is because they'll sit down and get the calculator out and go, fucking hell, hang on. This is, in England, tax is fucking high and you've got national insurance on top of it. So a lot of them will go, well, hang on a sec, I'll have to pay 40% tax plus 12.5% national insurance plus. Oh, actually, I'll only be fucking 160 quid a month better off. So fuck the promotion. And that's key. This is basic stuff that anyone who's not a complete psychopath can figure out. Cleverer people than you or I figure these things out. Top economists, and you have to really skirt the line between constantly encouraging hard work and climbing up the ranks, and also making sure that the rich do pay a fair share, because obviously it is unfair for the guy who's on 20 grand a year to pay the same tax as a guy who's on 90 grand a year. I understand that, but there's a happy medium, and saying you're just going to take fucking everything off the really rich isn't a happy medium. Tax system should always be like a slap in the face. It's a bit shit paying your taxes, but you can handle it. This tax system shouldn't be a boot in the bollocks with a size 12 fucking hobnail boot. And that's what these dopey bastards don't understand. Healthcare, top issue for many Dems. It's been a source of spirited debate for all of it. Yeah, we know. Buttigieg endorses a government-run health insurance option. Sanders wants the whole fucking thing. Warren's walked back and called for a more incremental path as well. She's a dishonest fucking slut bucket. And I don't believe... you can tell I don't like Warren. I absolutely, yeah. I think nothing honest ever comes out of her mouth. Fucking Pocahontas. Even that, how's it become immoral to call her Pocahontas? She fucking lied, said she was Native American so she could get funds that were intended to help Native Americans because they're poor and impoverished as a whole. What's more immoral than that? Some blonde-haired, blue-eyed fucking middle-class fucker sticking her fingers in the cookie jar that's intended for the poor. Like, that's fucking shocking. Trump should make a lot more of that if he goes up against that fucking dopey mayor, because he'll torture her. Immigration. Isn't this funny that they've put Farage almost as far to the right as you can be? Like, he's not fucking Mussolini, is he? What about Matteo Salvini or Viktor Orban? Farage isn't that far over. Farage is basically where Obama is. Obama. Do I need to find footage of Obama being strict on immigration? Do I?
There is bipartisan hope of getting it done. This year, the Senate passed an immigration reform bill by a wide bipartisan majority, and it addresses the key issues that need to be addressed. It would strengthen our borders. It would level the playing field by holding employers accountable if they knowingly hire undocumented workers. It would modernize our legal immigration system so that we eliminate the backlog of family visas and make it easier to attract highly skilled entrepreneurs from beyond our borders. It would make sure that everybody plays by the same rules.
Not very liberal, is it? And those famous images, look, 2014 photos of detained children used as a swipe against Trump. Everyone knows that who's done their own work. All the shit that was saying about kids being in cages, it was a fiction. It was total bullshit. It went on for years, and most of the evidence that we were pointing at was pre-fucking Trump. So it's just bollocks. Yeah. So Obama, he should be maybe a step right of Farage, because Farage, for all the shit they give him, is perfectly reasonable. I listen to his LBC show every day. He's not even fucking controversial. Julian Castro, he's a fucking maniac. I wouldn't trust him to run a lemonade stand. That dopey bastard. He's a madman. He wanted to repeal entering the US illegally and stop it being a crime. So therefore, you're not entering the US illegally, you just go wherever the fuck you like. You're a convicted rapist with 3 kids in the fucking trunk of your car. Yeah, fuck it, just drive up. You haven't broke the law. It's just madness. I love that. On the other side of the spectrum sits Nigel Farage, the godfather of Brexit and an ardent foe. On the other side of the spectrum sits Nigel Farage. No, completely decriminalising going wherever you want on planet fucking Earth and getting rid of all the borders of a country isn't. The other end of the spectrum is polite English guy who advocates having an immigration policy. Now, the other side of that spectrum is throw them all in a cage and gas them all. That's the other end of the spectrum, because there is nothing further left than collapse every fucking border you've got. So I don't see how that's the other side of the spectrum is be centre-right. The other side of the spectrum is be like Obama. No. The other side of the spectrum is fucking kill every cunt. Environment, tree hugging. Tom Steyer, yeah, he's a proper hippie. Bloomberg, he's a lying bastard. I don't believe he's ever going to be that far left. And look, they've got Trump right again at the far right, axe wielding. Well, he's not that bad, is he? Fucking hell. The Chinese premier should be top of that list, shouldn't he? They eat fucking... Apparently, they use 1,000 acres of trees every day just for the fucking disposable chopsticks. But anyway, yeah, let's not talk about the panda burgers again. To the meat of it, the proper been having a go at Sanders. Bloomberg, who spent more fucking money on ads than GDP of many small countries. Oh, look, Bloomberg, the NRA paved the road to Washington for Bernie Sanders. He spent the next 3 decades making sure they got a return on their investment. We deserve a president who's not beholden to the gun lobby. I don't think the Sanders boys are going to like you, Mike.
I come from a rural state, and the views on gun control in rural states are different than in urban states. In Vermont, until last 2 years ago, we had virtually no gun control legislation at all, and I represented that perspective. As a senator from a rural state that has virtually no gun control, I believe that I am in an excellent position to bring people together to fight for sensible gun safety legislation.
Spicy. He's never been bought by them because he can't be bought by any of them. He's got more fucking money than Scrooge McDuck. The thing with that is, right, you've got to side with Sanders there. I've always said this about politicians. He's in a rural state that isn't pro-gun control, so he's representing the people that elected him. That's what you're supposed to do. If I was the mayor of Middlesbrough and they had a referendum on whether or not they should erect a 90-foot cock in the middle of the town centre, a giant robotic phallus to replace the fucking transporter bridge, the erect an erection side won the fucking vote, then I would support them building it, because that's democracy. The people of Vermont clearly don't want gun control, so Sanders is doing the right thing. He's not like Hillary Clinton, who pretended she was against guns. Hillary Clinton even advocated having lawsuits against the gun companies if a gun owner shoots someone. If some fucking lunatic goes on a rampage with a Remington firearm, she advocated going after the fucking Remington guys with a lawsuit. Like as if something that, like, you can do that with something that's legal. If I use a Toyota to run a load of people over because I'm a maniac, you can go after Toyota, take $100 million off them. I mean, it's fucking madness. Anders has got more sense than that. And again, Mini Mike, charmless fucking geriatric ninja turtle, he's throwing everything at him. It's a lunatic strategy, because he's just pissed off 4 million Bernie bros there who just will not vote for him. So if he does get the nod, Bloomberg's fucked. Bloomberg will not beat Trump in a month of fucking Sundays. It will never happen. It said the ad also spotlights the Vermont Senate's mixed record on support for gun control. In a response, a group supporting Sanders released video clips of Bloomberg praising disgraced Hollywood film producer Harvey Weinstein, who has been convicted of rape. I love it. Yes. Destroy each other. That is fucking spicy, that. I'll have to look that up. What's this shit? Family split over Sanders.
I'm supporting Bernie Sanders for president. He knows we need to radically transform this country and the way we think about politics and the world in general. My name is Quincy Abramson. I'm 23 years old, and I'm the co-field director for New Hampshire Youth Movement. So many people have come here from out of state, from all across the country, because that's how much we believe.
All these scrawny fucking lads are just trying to get their end away, aren't they? Look at the clip of that fucking man barely alive standing behind her. Like, These fucking uni nerds are clearly just trying to get their end away. He's just trying to donkey one into Quincy, isn't he? That's why he's fucking standing there. Everybody knows this. That's what Douglas Murray talks about. That, you got all these soy boys who can't get laid. They're going to all these progressive political rallies so they can try and get conquer fucking deep by the end of it. They sit there going, yeah, babe, like Donald Trump, fuck Trump, yo. And then as soon as they walk off, turn to the mate and they're like, oh yeah, man, the stacks of minge in here. That's the stereotype. And just one look at that fucking freak show behind there tells you everything you need to know. You knew he wasn't going to be a buff, handsome guy, didn't you?
In Bernie,
I'm going to crush this!
You know what? I can't even watch it. I cringe that much when I see people dancing around like fucking. I can't even watch it. Biden's having a go at him. Said he's trying to thwart the election of Obama. Totally unfair. They said socialists, Bernie's promising free stuff. He sent it to black voters across the state. Nominating Bernie means we re-elect Trump. We can't afford Bernie Sanders. But he's got more chance than you, Joe. Fucking hell. Too little, too late from many directions. Maybe I agree with Anthony Zurcher for a change. The baldy Prince William looking fucker. He looks like Prince William if he was part Prince William, part frog. Yeah, strange I agree with him for a change. Anyway, that was the point of the video. I want to make the prediction now. Like, the only one of that entire fucking lot who has got a sniff at getting anywhere near Trump is Sanders. It's the exact opposite of what the talking heads are telling you, because they're saying, no, he's too far left, they'll never elect a socialist. We're living in a populist era. You've got left-wing populists, you've got right-wing populists. 3 or 4 million of them Bernie bros and Bernie whores, there's going to be women as well, they will never vote for the likes of for the likes of Biden and Buttigieg and fucking Mini Mike when they're all running this shit. When they're running ads and smears and fucking massive attacks on him, they're just going to go, you know what, fuck it. And Trump's done an alright job, the economy's taken over. Loads of them are just going to be pissed off and go, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to do exactly what they did with Clinton, and they're going to get Trump elected again. And I'll piss my fucking self laughing. So that's my prediction. It's what? The 25th of fucking February. That's happening. So it'll be Sanders against Trump, unless the DNC are completely fucking insane, and we'll see what'll happen. Sanders v Trump. Sanders has got much more of a shot than any of them lot. If the economy's doing really well, Trump will probably still win. If the economy fucking tanks, Sanders can win. And all the talking heads don't agree. We're living in a time of populism. He's got loads of fucking fans, and loads of the Democrats that fucking despise Trump will be willing to vote for Sanders if they have to pick between Sanders and Trump. Even centrist Democrats, I think they'll be won over and go, fuck it, we'll go for Sanders, and we'll hope that the rest of the House and the Senate and the other people, the checks and balances that are in place, will stop him from pushing too far to the left and enacting all of his maddest policies. But of them all, Sanders got the best chance. And if they've got any fucking sense, he'll get the nod. And none of these dopey cunts on CNN or MSNBC, the ones that are just slagging off Sanders now, going, oh, we can't have a socialist America, we'll never elect a socialist. Well, they've been wrong for the last 4 years. Why would they suddenly start being right now? They know fuck all. It takes a random working class northerner from a foreign country to tell these dopey cunts how it's going to go down. But that's how it's going to fucking go down. Anyway, let's see. I'd love to be proven fucking wrong. Cheers.